Okay, 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's Mr. Lee up in the building. We live in the building, live in the building. Check it, it's 2024. We're live in the building. Uncle Barber, Mr. Lee, and today we're going to be doing quick video on how to manage challenging clients, season one, episode one. All right, so we're going to be doing some stuff in here today, and basically we're just going to be talking about how we deal with different types of customers. Okay, if you like what's happening around here, hit the hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we're just going to test this thing out. All right, so let's go into there. Okay, so different types of customers. Okay, so when we're in the shop, we're going to get a whole different type of clients. Okay, it's not just about cutting hair, we've got to deal with people out here. Okay, so it would be great if all our clients was happy-go-lucky. Okay, easy to please characters. Who do you click with? Okay, or just, you know what I mean? So the reality is you're going to come into contact with all different types of people in your salon, all right, or in your barbershop. Okay, so here's some of the sort of challenges that you will start to face. Okay, so you've got the shy client. Big up RT in the building. RT in the building. All right. So you've got the shy client. Okay. So you're gonna need to sort of coax this client out of this, out of their self a little bit. All right. It might be easier to take them into a quiet part of your salon and stuff and have a little conversation with them. Okay. Mirror their personality. All right, by speaking quietly, so don't shout after them and all that sort of stuff, because the salon environment, the barbershop environment can be quite a daunting one for certain people. All right, so just make sure that you sort of take that into consideration when you're dealing with them. Okay, you don't want them to be overwhelmed, right? And start pointing out their features, okay, like their jawline, their hairline, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, but try and be more like positive with them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, it will look really nice if you look. You just got to know how to deal with stuff. Okay, if you can find a topic that they're interested in, all right, it could be a great way to get them to open up. All right, so say for example, if they like football, I ain't interested in football at the slightest, but I will. I don't know. I might say, okay, well, watch a little bit of World Cup or whatever the case may be. All right, so that's basically like your shy client. Okay, your angry client. All right. So you have some people that get up in the morning and they're just hating the world. All right. They're going to come into your space. They're going to come into your shop. You need to know how to deal with that sort of client. Okay. It doesn't matter how good a barber you are, right? You're going to come into contact with these type of people. Okay. Remember that you might not even the one that made them angry. All right. You might just be the straw that broke the camel's back on his bad day. Okay. So you might need to take them to a quieter area of the salon. All right. And try and figure out what it is that's bothering them. You know what I mean? It could be something very personal. It could be something's happened in their life. Everyone has all kind of crazy stuff happening in their life. It could be something with the children. It could be anything. They probably didn't get paid that day. Yeah. So, just try and be more empathetic about what's happening. All right. Your best tactic to handling the angry clients is to just let them talk, let them vent it out, let them get it all out. Don't interrupt them too much. All right. If you remain calm and empathize with them, usually it goes a long way, right? And it helps them to sort of leave the salon in a much better place. All right. So just have a think about that. Just think about the times when you've had to deal with them sort of clients. How did you deal with it? How could you have dealt with it any better? All right. The client who is unhappy with the result. Okay. So it probably means that you didn't do as good as consultation as you should have done. All right. So when the problem's resolved, take some time out to think about what you could have done differently. Okay. So a lot of barbers, you really got to understand the process of the consultation. Okay. So for those who don't know what that is, a consultation is basically the pre-discussion before you go to cut the client's hair. Okay. So you need to know what are your client's requirements. Okay. So if a client comes in and sits in your chair and just says, oh, I just want a skin fade. Okay. You don't know what sort of skin fade that is. Is it a high skin fade, a low skin fade, a drop skin fade? Think about what it is. Half of the time, just you got to remember that most of the people that sit in your chair, they have no idea with a lot of the terminologies. Okay, so you need to make sure that you are very clear about what it is that they require. All right. So, in terms of dealing with the client, don't act defensively. Okay, as this might aggravate the situation. Okay, listen to them and try and find out why they're unhappy and offer solutions to improve the result. Okay, if the client's really cross or upset, the best solution is maybe to just let them, leave and give them a follow-up call the next day to see what they would like to do. All right. And sometimes if the client's really unhappy, you might have to just give them a freebie. Take that out. Take that out. All right. Maybe they ask for a shadow fade. All right. Or maybe they ask for a fade and it wasn't really a skin fade. It was supposed to be a shadow fade. And you just took the clipper. Excuse me. You just took the clip out and you just X'd off the one of them head. Okay. So they ain't going to be happy with that. And if that's the issue, make sure, just look after them. All right. So maybe just give them a freebie. Okay. Don't do that all the time though, or you'll be out of pocket. Okay. So just make sure that you get your consultation on point. Consultation, consultation, consultation. Even if it takes 5 minutes, it could take 5 minutes to find out exactly what is the one. All right. The impossible to please client. These guys charming. They're charming. They're charming. They're charming. Okay. You just need to do the best you can for this client and make sure that you got tip-top communication skills. Okay. So that they can let you know exactly what it is they want and you can let them know exactly what it is they're going to get. Okay. Listen to them. Okay. Discuss what it is they want and ask them to bring pictures. Yeah. So that you can really have a clear understanding of what they've got in mind. Okay. So that's what you need to be really, really aware of. These clients are all over the place. Personally, these clients drive me crazy. But if you can please an impossible to please client, you're good. All right. And they will stay with you. Okay. If you really can't please the client, then you might need to hand them over to someone else. It's just as simple as that. And sometimes if it's one of them clients that are really, 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 really hard to please, just send them somewhere else. Sometimes you just can't have the hassle. You can't. But that's how I would deal with it personally. The hearing impaired client. Okay. So I haven't had one of these personally yet. Okay. But most hearing impaired clients have really good lip reading skills. All right. So make sure when you're speaking to them, you position yourself in front of them and speak slowly and clearly. Okay. So make sure you're really, really clear about what you're saying. Okay. It makes sense to use visual aids and, make sure you might need to write stuff down as well. Okay. You might need to write stuff down. Don't assume that just because their hearing's impaired that they can't read or, they're sort of illiterate and stuff like that. All right. So that's just a tip. The visually impaired client. Okay. So generally speaking, if someone can't see, you could just do anything to that head top and keep it pushing, really and truly. Okay. I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay. So if you got someone with sight problems, your biggest priority is to create a trusting relationship and try and get a feel of how the salon experience would feel from their perspective. All right. This is when communication skills really, really, really need to be on point. Okay. You need to speak very clearly and tell them exactly what you're doing throughout the process and describe how they look. And when it comes to moving between the styling stations and stuff like that, don't assume that they can't get around. Maybe ask the question very sort of gently. But I'll give you an example. There was a guy, big up Blind Dave. If you know who Blind Dave is, we went to his house one time because we were doing a charity event, and obviously he's blind and he's got a whole CNR dog. Okay, and we went to his house and he was walking around the house making cups of tea and all that sort of stuff. and I forget saying he's blind. Okay, so me like an idiot is asking them man there if they watched EastEnders yesterday, and he's like, "How could I have watched EastEnders?" Okay, so they can be really, really queued up, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so it might throw you off. You might, he's blind, but he may be very, very capable, or she may be very, very capable of doing whatever it is they're doing on a day-to-day basis. Because a lot of them, they may have been born that way and they've lived their life for 30, 40 years that way. All right, so don't just assume that just because someone's blind, they're just completely unable to complete general tasks in life. Okay, a client who speaks another language. Okay, so ideally, it's a good idea to have people about that can speak different languages if you're in a salon. All right, but generally speaking, that is not always the case. Okay, so again, using visual aids. Okay, people have phones, magazines, don't really have anymore, but iPads, all that sort of stuff, because that can give them a very good idea and understanding of what it is they are going to get. Okay. Um, it would be amazing. It's amazing how much you can do without words. Okay, in this sort of setting. All right. So again, that's a tip to deal with guys who or girls who speak another language. Okay, so we're gonna end this now. But what I would like you guys to do is just describe in the comments, yeah, how you've handled each type of client. So if you're a barber or up and coming, if you're in college or whatnot, have a go, write it in the comments how you've dealt with a shy customer, how you've dealt with an angry one, unhappy with the result, someone who was impossible to please, a hearing impaired client, a visually impaired client, or someone that speaks another language. Okay, let me know in the comments. Let me know how you've dealt with these clients or what has happened. All right, so it's your boy Mr. Lee. I'm out. Don't forget, follow this space. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff now. We're going to be doing some live streaming, interviews, little bit of podcasting here and there, tutorial videos, demonstration videos. We're just going to start going in. We're going to start getting out here into the algorithms. It's your boy, Mr. Lee, on Code Barber Studios. We out. Peace.